Alright, so this is about how babies are, people have misconceptions of what being a baby is and what being a toddler is. I have vivid memory of when I was a toddler and the baby, remembering everything clearly as if it was yesterday. It's almost as if to say I was no different then than I am now. And being 30 years old now, I'm no different than when I was a baby, 1 years old. I was fully conscious. I remember everything, and I was as sophisticated then as I am now. Like, I was a full-grown adult when I was a baby, if that makes sense. Like, I knew things like, oh, you shouldn't do this to people, or you should do this to people, be nice to people. I already knew all those things, almost as if even no one teaching me anything, right? No one disciplining anything. The thing is that life is about verification, so that you don't have experience. You might, have the soul of God, so that you automatically have these understandings that what you should and shouldn't do to people, but you don't have experience, so you don't. That's just like your initial thought. But after your initial thought, if someone questioned you or say you should be open-minded or like it persisted and insisted on something else and made you do certain things and said, no, it's okay, it's actually this way, actually you're actually wrong, then you would be like, oh, am I? I don't know. And then they would just like maybe go along with it because like they were seduced into it, or they were just like tricked into it, or like the other person insisted. But once you're born, you're fully conscious, like 1 year old or whatever, or you're a toddler, you already know, like, it's more than just like you put your hand in the fire and your hand hurts and then you know not to put your hand in the fire. Like, you actually know, or at least I remember, I knew what bad behavior was and what morality was. I knew what God was. I knew what ghosts were. No one had to tell me what a ghost was, like a spirit. I already knew the concept of like things that are beyond the physical body, right? I already knew the concept, the idea that, yes, their spirits exist. I'm a spirit, I'm in a body, and then there is a God. I already knew without people telling me that, there's good morals and there's bad morals. And then when my dad was abusing me, I knew that he was messed up. I knew what like being drunk is like, even though I never drank before, but I knew the concept that this guy is like out of his mind. He's not behaving like a normal person. He's like a zombie. I knew the concept of lying even as a baby, when my dad threatened me and said that he was gonna beat me up if I don't tell the truth, even though I was telling the truth. And then I had to say something that wasn't the truth, and that hurt my feelings because he basically violated me. It was like rape, He was terrorizing me. So, and at that moment, I knew the concept that, well, you shouldn't lie. I mean, I shouldn't have to just say something that's not true. I'm saying that I didn't break this thing, but he wants me to say I did break it. Like, I knew this complex thought that, like, what, that would be a lie. And I'm not trying to lie to you, but you're forcing me to. This is like coercion. This is like terrorism. I knew all these concepts already as like a baby before I even went to kindergarten. I was like, how many? Like, I was probably less than 5 or whatever, or maybe 5 years old. I don't know, but the point is, like, it's like the saying that babies are little people. It's true. You're just there's no such thing as babies almost, if depending on what you think the word baby means. We're all adults. They're just miniature adults whose physical bodies have not grown out yet and who don't have experience, so they were just born, so they're new to the world. So they're new to breathing air, they're new to like the most simplest things like coloring books, like, wow, crayons is color, and like, so they're new to it, but they can grow tired of it fast. It's just that since they never had it before, then they can actually like get into it, and like they have time to like see how fun it is, or like how far it goes before they go to the next thing and upgrade. But like you can't treat a baby like a retard, because you're like I said, like when I was a baby or toddler, I feel the same as if I was then and I am now. I was a 30-year-old man back then. I was like technically speaking, I'm just saying that people are people. We're all adults. Me being 30 years old just is a testament to the fact that, or not a testament, but it's just saying that I've been conscious for 30 years, so I have more experience, or I could have more experience than someone who is just alive for 1 year, because you can only do so much in 1 year. You can go to only so many places, you can eat only so many things, right? Practically speaking. And then you don't know what it's like to be alive for 30 years. Even if for 30 years you're just doing the same thing or just not moving, but still time is an experience in itself. But then that's just the difference though. But it doesn't mean that 1-year-old or that toddler isn't like a person that deserves a respect as a, an adult or whatever, like as a person of honor. Some people treat babies or toddlers or kids as like luggage, right? That you just put them in a room, you don't, like that would be disrespectful to a grown-up, right? You just like put an adult in a room and lock them up and just ignore them and didn't give them attention. Like, it's not even a baby thing, it's a grown-up thing. If you just don't give people attention, it's like that's disrespectful and that hurts their feelings. If you smoke in front of adults, won't you hurt their feelings? Won't you be disrespecting them? Won't that piss them off? The same thing for babies. I knew I was being disrespected, being violated when my parents were smoking in front of me when I was just a baby or a toddler, and I told them to stop. I knew that they were disrespecting my privacy or like my personal space, and I even knew the concept of a baby. Like, how could you smoke in front of a baby like this? You're killing me, you're damaging me, and you don't even care. That's fucked up. Like, I knew this complex sentiment, this complex ideal already. But they think they're getting away with it because this baby is just a brainless zombie dog piece of luggage that has no mind, doesn't know what I'm doing. I could do whatever I want. I could pee on the baby, he won't know. I could, I could try and drown my baby, he won't know, he'll forget about it. No, that's not how it is. Like, if right now you're like whatever years old, 50, 15, and you're fully conscious and you know this is not a dream and this is real life or whatever, that's the same thing when you're like 1 year old or you were 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old. There's no difference. It's not like you used to have foggy vision or your memory was like Alzheimer's. No, you were the same then as you are now. It's just that you have experience now. You have 30 years experience or however old you are. Even if you don't have experience doing a lot of different things or experiencing severe and drastic and dynamic things, but just like being alive for 30 years in itself is different. I even knew the concept of a dream in that, I just had a dream, it's not real, I understood concepts of sex as a baby,